Hello and welcome to Red Sports. Today is a day of celebration for the Indian fans because India has now won the five-match test series against England 3-1. We've seen some incredible performances from the Indian team this series, throughout the series, from double centuries to milestones to centuries. There's a lot that we have seen. But we have a lot to discuss, and let me introduce my guests, Devashish Sen, Shubhayan Chakravarti, and Shomik Chakravarti. Devashish, I'll start with you first. Right off the bat, what has been the highlight of the match for you?
Obviously, the innings that Dhruv Jurel played, that 90 odd in the first innings, and the knock he played in the second innings, he was under immense pressure. Obviously, England were up, had their tails up with 5 wickets down, means 110, and wickets. I mean, at that phase, 84 for one, and suddenly you have India at a position 110 for five. It had, if there another wicket had gone, then in who knows? But that the youngster, he's just 23 years old. Means obviously, and he showed immense temperament, great temperament, the determination, the will to stay in the cricket. Something that is not you cannot associate with a youngster of means obviously. And remember, he has only played 16 first-class matches, and that speaks volumes of his mentality. And definitely, for me, Dhruv Jurel has to be the player to watch out for.
Shubhayan, similar for you, winning
So,
match from Jurel.
similar, but Kuldeep Yadav was also very crucial in this entire test match with the bat in the first innings. That partnership with Dhruv Jurel, he played 130 odd deliveries and hung around to give Dhruv Jurel that confidence that okay, I have some stability in the at the non-strikers end as well. And with the ball, Kuldeep was brilliant as well. Although Ashwin took the 5 wicket fifer there, but Kuldeep with the 4 for was also a very crucial component in this win.
Your highlight, Shomik?
Of course, Dhruv Jurel. I mean, he has to be the star of the show, Gagi. Given that, I mean, see, he is a spring chicken at this level, playing his second test, and he was under immense pressure in the first innings. He scored 90. He took India closer to England's first innings total. Without that, suppose England were having a lead of 80 or 90, the game would have been done and dusted now. And second innings after 4 wicket spell, and this was the last. Shubman and Jurel was the last recognized player given Ashwin's a bit dodgy batting form in the series. So the temperament he showed, and he is one Indian batsman who played Bashir with ease because he used his speed. He upset his length, and he didn't allow Shoaib Bashir to land in his preferred area. So that is how he upset the off spinner. And there was a time when Shubman Gill's half century is worth his weight in gold in the second innings. But there was a phase when he got stuck. Jurel came, and along with him, intent
Hmm.
returned to Indian batting. So that was very important.
Now that India has won the series, we can look back on the series a little bit. Throughout the series, we've had so many debutants. A word on Rajat Patidar, first of all.
The lesser you speak,
Oh my God.
obviously he has been terrible in this series. Means obviously much was expected of him. He has scored truckload of runs in domestic cricket, but he could not reflect that into international cricket. Obviously, 3 test matches. Very few get 6 innings, and given the competition we have in Indian cricket, to be getting 6 innings, and he has, apart from that 32 he scored in that first test match in Hyderabad, he never looked like to be at ease. Means obviously he struggled, and the manner in which he got out today as well. Means obviously, I don't see him getting any further chances in this test series.
A debut that we'll always remember and will stick with the Indian fans for a long time will be, of course, Sarfaraz Khan. Thoughts?
Very good debut in the last match in Rajkot, but again expected a lot more from Sarfaraz in Ranchi because he has played a lot of cricket. Out of all the Indian batters who are currently part of the playing 11, Sarfaraz has played in the recent past has played the most in these conditions. So he knows that okay, the ball will spin, the ball will turn, it will stay low. So I expected a little bit more from Sarfaraz in this test, but nonetheless he has made a mark. Now the Indian team management also knows what his strengths and weaknesses are and will use him accordingly. There's a lot of test which remains which will be played in the remainder of the year. and it's a good start for his series. But in Dharamshala, looking the way Sarfaraz has been scoring runs, his father's mentality, he would not settle less than a big score. He needs a big score in Dharamshala to just boost stamp that okay, I belong to this level. And that Rajkot test in a flatter deck was not a one-off innings.
Talking about debutants, Akash Deep also made his mark in this match.
Absolutely. And given his background and the hardship he has gone through, it is very heartening to see. And he sort of took to Test cricket like a duck to water. It's very tough to replace Bumrah because Bumrah is irreplaceable. And when you are taking the new ball and when you are replacing Bumrah, and that his spell in the first morning of the fourth test, uh, even taking into account the no ball, that was heartbreaking because he managed to castle Zach Crawley. But uh, he showed big heart. He showed he is slippery, pretty quick through the air around 138, 139. And he's here. I mean, if morning shows the day, he is here to stay because if you see beyond Bumrah and Siraj and Shami, we need a fourth fast bowler. When we go abroad on seaming pitches, we play Shardul Thakur, who is basically a medium pacer who comes as a lower order, I mean, sort of a bowling all rounder. But if you want, Mukesh Kumar's bowling is very condition specific. So from that point of view, having someone who is very similar to Muhammad Shami, Akash Deep is very similar to Muhammad Shami. So having someone like Akash Deep, that will augur well for the Indian team in the future.
And Rohit Sharma, there will be a lot said about his captaincy, but is this a sort of a beginning of his redemption? Will this series win redeem himself?
Absolutely, it's his first big series win. Remember, India had heartbreak in South Africa. Shubhan was there. Obviously, then to go 1-0 ahead and then to draw the series. In fact, 0-1 down and then to level the series. Obviously, much was expected. It was counted as final frontier. But then I think Rohil's stamp on being one of the greatest captains will lie when the Indian team travels to Australia at the end of the year. Yes, it's at home. You expect to win a series against England, obviously, with lot of talk about baseball and thing. And remember, India, and yes, a lot of credit should be given to Rohit because when you consider that someone like when you did not have a Virat Kohli, a Mohammad Shami, a KL Rahul, a Shreya Shire, so many players are not in this 11, and then to win a series after going 1-0 down in Hyderabad, that speaks volumes of his captaincy. I think he looked a lot more improved as a captain after that first test match. Some of the moves that he made were actually resulted in India clinching those momentum. And I think, but the real test, if you ask me, what would be Rohit Sharma's real test as a captain to stamp his authority, something to match Virat Kohli? It has to be that series win against Australia because Virat Kohli under him has two test series win against Australia in Australia, someone that cannot be matched.
One and a half.
Gagi, I would like to add a little more to Rohit's captaincy. More than captaincy, I'll talk about his leadership. See, I mean, ahead of the test series, the news came that he will be missing his best batsman for the entire duration of the series. Virat Kohli pulled out citing personal reasons. India lost the first test. Then in the second test, what happened? KL Rahul and
Suresh Iyer.
Ravindra Jadeja had to pull out because of injuries. He could have panicked. But what one insider told me that Rohit's team talk was just tip your hat to a special innings. We have lost to a special innings and move on. And that's what he gave confidence to the youngsters. We are saying Dhruv Jurel, Sarfraz Khan, everything. Without the confidence they got from their captain, it wouldn't have happened. So that is leadership, keeping the line of communication open. That is leadership. So Rohit has been a bit inconsistent with the bat in the series, but on a leadership scale, he will get 10 out of 10.
But a very crucial century and today half
Exactly,
century as well,
of course,
And
of
he's
which
good.
course.
has
He
helped
led from the
India turn
front.
the
Of
series
course, he led
complete.
from
He
the
has
front.
scored more than 300 runs, third highest run
Highest
scorer
run.
in the
Yes,
series.
but by his standards, he was a bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
But if you
Still,
ask me, Sumit, the difference has been Yashasvi Jaiswal.
of
See,
course,
India
of
had
course.
India had four centurions, England had three centurions.
Yeah.
They all scored three, obviously, Ben Duckett scored at 150, but Yashasvi Jaiswal to peak 200s means and
Around 650 runs.
655 runs, matching Virat Kohli that he scored against the series against England in 2016. So scoring 655 runs in a series, that has been the difference between the two sides. If you compare it with England, their highest scorer Jack Crawley has scored 328 runs. So that in itself
Absolutely.
sets
Yeah.
the
There have been
difference.
two game changes basically as far as India is concerned. One is Yashasvi Jaiswal, one is Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes, and talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal, one thing about him is that his mental fortitude and his nerves of steel,
Hmm.
that is something that sets him apart from the rest of the batters.
Absolutely. Plus, he has games for different conditions.
Yes.
He's a proper leg side player, proper offside player, plays the short ball well. He's a complete package as far as his batting is concerned. Of course, I would like to see him bowl a bit more. I have been crying it since long. But as a batter, there's no doubt that in the year 2024, Yashasvi Jaiswal has taken the world stage by storm. Of course, he has had a brilliant debut series against West Indies also, but since then he has not let his guards down and continued to score big runs. And the best part is he does not score small hundreds. When he gets to 100,
Yeah.
converts it into a big one.
We'll get back to talking about the Indian team, but also a word on how the English team has approached this series.
A lot of credit goes to them. I mean, they came here with a very callous spinning unit. They lost their most experienced spinner, Jack Leach. Still, the fight they put up, I mean, just set aside the baseball factor because this is the most unbaseball batting they did in this Ranchi test. But I mean, they gave it. I mean, they took every game down to the wire. Even in Ranchi, they had advantages, but what they missed, they failed to build on their advantages. Here, they also had 46 runs lead, but the, their batting let them down in the second innings from 110 for three. They folded up for 145. In the previous test also, they had the game by the scruff of the neck at 207 for 3-2. From there, they collapsed to 321, giving India a big lead. So they failed to seize the moments. They missed the big moments, but otherwise they are a world-class team. And they gave a special mention to Shoaib Bashir, the young spinner. The way he bowled, he kept things simple. He bowled over the wicket to right-handers. He hit the good areas. He didn't overthink. So India have a lot of positives to take from, even though they are trailing 3-1.
But if I may add something to what Samik said, I think mm, the experience in England batters have been a big disappointment. The
Hmm.
likes of Joe Root, much was expected out of him. Means obviously 10 hundreds against India. You expected much bigger things from Joe Root, and that was not the case. He scored only 100, and he never looked at his as far as baseball is concerned in this series. He tried to play some extravagant shots to reverse his that led his downfall. In fact, that was the shot that England will be ruined because that paved the way for England
Absolutely.
coming back into India coming back into the match, and also the fact that Johnny Bairstow is another guy who hasn't looked to dominate this Indian bowling. You talk about Ben Stokes, he also and James Anderson as well. Obviously, with such an inexperienced bowling attack, means relying totally on the inexperienced spin bowlers in Shoaib Bashir and Rehan Ahmed and Tom Hartley, James Anderson means obviously you never know. James Anderson has been a legend in his own right, but this series he has looked mediocre.
Yes, because Ben Stokes has been their biggest letdown as far as batting is concerned. Joe Root still scored 100 in Ranchi, but Ben Stokes, and mind, he has been playing solely as a batsman. So from that point of view, he has failed to pull his weight, and he has been a letdown as a batsman because you expect a lot more from a world class player like him.
Shubhan, another player that stood out throughout the series was Ravindra Jadeja.
Of course.
I was surprised these guys did not mention Ravindra Jadeja when talking about heroes of the series, but he was fantastic. Ravi, when this series has not been the best for Ravichandran Ashwin, the bowler. Of course, he picked up a very crucial five-wicket fifer in this test, but Apart when Ashwin was not firing all cylinders, it was Ravindra Jadeja who stood up with the ball, with the bat also. A great 100 in Rajkot, although people will still talk about that run out. But apart from that, I think he has had a very, very good series. One of the key components why India has won this series. He has been promoted up in the order at number 5, where he has delivered time and time again. Played some crucial runs. Although I still think his running between the wickets, his strike rotation can be bettered. But apart from that, he has played. If we are talking about the likes of Jasprit Bumrah being a very crucial factor in this series, Yashasvi Jaiswal being a very crucial factor in this series, I think we should mention Ravindra Jadeja also, because Ashwin was not firing. He's still not firing all cylinders. So that is where Jadeja stood.
But he still ended up 17 wickets in the series, Ravichandran Ashwin.
That's his caliber. We expect 30. When you are playing a 5 match test series in India, we expect 30. That is a
Yes.
lofty.
No, his economy was on a higher
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah. But then you can expect, because given the way the England
In
batters,
England batted.
batters approach.
Yeah.
8 innings, 7 innings. He bowled 1 innings. I'll give him. He went due to personal emergency, medical emergency. But 7 innings. If we talk about Ashwin in India, you hope for at least 20 wickets, if not more.
Yeah, he is 3 wickets away from getting 20.
But
Still not
also
20.
credit
Okay.
where the credit is due. Zach Crawley played him very well.
Yeah, I think all the English batters played him very well.
I mean,
The
mainly
sweeps.
he showed the way. I mean, covering the line, covering the turn. Zach Crawley figured it out.
And he even accepted in the last press conference. He said it has not been my best series. I am struggling with my knee. It
Yeah.
is taking time to warm up, etc., etc. So he knows that.
And he's a very smart cricketer.
17
Yeah.
wickets is not. It is very good. I have no doubt about it. But when you are talking about Ashwin, Nathan Lyon, these type of class bowlers, you
Yeah,
expect.
you ought to have a mediocre series. Means obviously such a long career.
Huh.
So
Yeah, of course.
there has
We,
to be one
we
series.
have
So,
to give it to him.
but he's a legend in his own right, Ravichandran Ashwin.
Who has more wickets, Ashwin or Jadeja? I think Jadeja
No, both have 17 wickets in the series.
Oh.
with the bat.
How with the bat, obviously, Jadeja
Yeah,
scored
because he has
213 runs.
Uh,
When you consider that 213 runs along with the 17 wickets, then obviously Jadeja is definitely one of the key performer in the series. And obviously that partnership of 204 runs in the previous test
Right.
actually means India were 33 for 3. And then from there, that
With
partnership
Sarfaraz,
with Rohit Sharma,
Rohit Sharma, yes.
And Jadeja, that 204 runs partnership actually paved the way for coming back into that last test match.
And Shubhan, final question. Who do you think is in contention for player of the series?
Player of the series.
Yeah.
Oof. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal. No doubt.
No Jadeja?
It is going to be between them, but I think with those two double centuries, I think Yashasvi is fine.
yeah, if someone
The
has
gap
scored-
between other batters and Yashasvi is
i-
two.
Yeah.
if someone has scored north of 650 runs, I mean, he should walk away with the
Yeah,
partnership.
unless Jadeja scores another double
unless
hundred.
Jasprit
Yeah.
Bumrah comes back in Dharamshala
And
and performs the way he has done,
yeah,
Yeah.
I
and
think
rips through
Jasprit
England batting.
Bumrah should be the man of the series, because it's the 20 wickets you need to get to win a test match.
Yeah, but
And
another
Bumrah-
5 per and
and
100
Bumrah-
for Jadeja
and-
can change things.
Yeah, obviously things might be
Yeah.
different, but Bumrah, and remember he was rested for
Yeah.
this test match.
Yeah.
So considering that means 18 wickets in the series so far and still a test match to go. So it means obviously there are a lot of contenders to be the man of
Yeah.
the series.
And we'll find out soon enough who the player of the series will be. But for now, we wrap up our conversation. We'll be back soon, so stay tuned to Rep Sports.